I'm kind of stressed, so let's pop some. If you're interested in buying the display at a greatly reduced price, just let me know in the comments below. When Steve Jobs said, let's put a ding in the universe, this is not what he was talking about. Greetings, Internet. Krazy Ken is back, and today, oh my gosh, it's gonna get ugly. Even uglier than me. And that's saying something. Okay, a little bit of backstory. So, some of you may know, a while ago, I did this setup tour video, and I mentioned I was selling my cinema display. Well, that's what's in this box. So you may be wondering, Ken, did you sell it? Yes, I did. This is a box that got returned. There actually is, I have it blocked out, but this is a return label. It got returned because apparently it was damaged. And if you look at the photos, these are actually the photos I shot for the eBay listing. It is in perfect condition. I took care of this thing like it was my child. And I actually just did another Ken's Mind episode on that kind of stuff. But anyway, it was in perfect condition. So when the person said it was damaged, I was like, what the shit? And then they sent me photos. And when I looked at them, my jaw dropped to the floor and like broke through the floor. It probably hit someone in the head. And that's what's in here. They returned it. It's broken. It's inside here. What we're going to do today is look at it together for the first time. I have not seen this in person at all until now. Here's what's even worse. USPS, I'm calling you out. Because you abused my product. This monitor that USPS damaged was $1,000 new. And I sold it for $500 bucks. I was so happy. I was like, holy shit. They damaged a $500 monitor. Can you believe that? That's crazy. And even more insulting is that eBay has a microscopic checkbox that I missed when I was making the printing label. Right? The insurance option. I insure and warranty freaking everything. And the checkbox was tiny, I was in a rush, and I missed it! I missed what I saw was an $8 insurance option. So now I can't formally file a claim with this awesome agency of the government. Priority U, right? Yeah, bullshit.
What's the most surefire way of guaranteeing something will break? Put it in the mail, marked fragile.
So you'd think with the strong aluminum design of that display and good packaging that it would arrive just fine, right? Well, no. From my initial observation, USPS even found a way to screw that up. So now, enough gab. Let's dig in. They're kind of dull. Bear with me. So before I destroy this box trying to open it, let's just observe it. It looks a little damaged over here, right? Little damaged over here. The main part I'm concerned about is this side. Note the incredible crunchiness right here and the crunchiness right here. Scissors are for pussies! Airspace for all your air needs. Okay, so as a disclaimer, this might have been the way the company packaged it, but again, it was returned by the buyer, so they repackaged it just themselves. So I don't know exactly how this looked on the inside while it was in transit to its original location. So, let's see what we got. We got a lot of these airbags. It's double boxed. The display is inside this box, and then there's airbags around it, and then it's inside this box. So the corners look padded. But this is completely deflated. The corner that was dented, look at how deflated this airbag is. This had to have hit something very hard to dent the box and frickin' pop the whole airbag. So that must be where the damage mainly is. I haven't seen the display itself in person yet, but we'll get there. We're doing a little detective work. Bubbles are intact. I'm kind of stressed, so let's pop some. There we go. Another deflated airbag. More deflated airbags. So it's this corner that really suffered. Was this the really deflated one I showed earlier, or is this a second one? I don't even know. But again, this is nothing. This is nothing without the air in it. That doesn't do jack shit. So there must be a hole on here because it got smashed and the air escaped. There it is. That must be where the air came out of. Just a giant hole. Sticking my finger through there even. Okay, so now that leaves us with the packaging, which of course is for an iMac, not the actual display, but it's all I had. So let's look here. This is like our ground zero right here. This is where the box is the most damaged and where the most deflation occurred. So if we look at the inner packaging, we can see that looks pretty effed up too. So something must have just smashed the corner right here. And I'm willing to bet my life savings of
$3
that this corner is the dented corner of the display. Shall we find out? Moment of truth. Let's see who the killer is. It's probably USPS. Oh, it's padded up. All right. Oh, there's even airbags in here. Look at that. Deflate on the inner packaging. Totally deflated. Oh my gosh. Another deflated. Bingo. There's our damage. What did I tell you? The exact corner where the deflation was first found, those first deflated airbags were, the corner where the inner packaging was pretty effed up, right here, and the corner where the outer packaging was also effed up. I mean, just look at this. This is the inner one, the outer one you saw earlier. That's exactly where the dent is. I should be a crime scene investigator. Let's dig into the nitty-gritty and really see what got f***ed up on this display. Holy shit! What did they do to this thing? My goodness, it's freaking... Something hit really hard right here and forced this aluminum to shoot up and just... It's separated along the whole top of the bezel. It is separated from the glass. That's such a shame. This was such a beautiful product. And I took such good care of it for the, 5.5 years that I owned it, and it gets damaged being in the mail for a few days. That's a real shame. All right, let's take a closer look. It must have hit, like, the corner of something. This is a really, really, like, tiny ding in terms of the width. It's probably, like, less than a centimeter. But it must have been a really hard blow to dent this rather thick aluminum this much. And the force, all these newtons right here, just freaking traveled through here and just separated all along the glass. Okay, now that I'm looking at it closer and under some slightly different light, you can kind of see there's like two impressions here. There's like two impact marks. Audience, feel free to share your theories. This is what, maybe 1.5 millimeters thick? Like somewhere between 1 millimeter and 2 millimeters thick? That's kind of thick, and this is pretty strong aluminum here from, my understanding. It still has to be kind of cheap and, for manufacturing, and it has to be light. But, it's still pretty tough. And whatever they did was strong enough to frickin' warp it like that. And as you can probably see, it's separated here. I can feel it. Like, the glass is not flush with the frame anymore. It's totally separated. Okay, so the resale value is now through the floor. From what I understand, and I'll test this for myself, there's no cracks on the screen and none of the pixels are dead. So the display itself still works. Aesthetically, it just looks a little dinged up. So again, the resale value is going to be lower, but I could probably still sell it. Actually, if anyone wants it, please let me know. I am selling it for way less now. So seriously, just comment below. We can work something out. If not, it's hitting eBay again. So I'm just continuing the damage investigation. You're not supposed to see the bezel. This is an edge-to-edge glass display, yet you can see the bezel like it's a previous gen cinema display. Priority U. Good job, USPS. I know they're an agency of the government. They probably don't like their jobs very much. They're probably understaffed and overworked, and they really don't care about moving heavy boxes all day. But I paid you. I paid you guys and trusted you guys to transport this. And you couldn't do that. You damaged a really beautiful product. A really expensive product, too. Again, when this thing came out, it was $1,000. I saved forever so I could buy one of these. You've probably never heard me so serious on Krazy Ken before, huh? Yeah, that's because this is my biggest F-up because I missed that insurance checkbox. If I would have saw that box, I mean, I easily would have paid the $8 to cover the insurance. I mean, who wouldn't? $8 to protect $500? Yeah, I'd absolutely do that. Well, lesson learned on my part, but seriously, USPS, do you just not care? You must not. Your ads say priority you, but that's bullshit. You don't care. You seriously don't. And this is evidence of that. You can't look at me seriously and say, priority you. We care about you. When you do this. It had like 6 layers of protection. And you still managed to damage this rather thick aluminum hard enough where the whole top bezel is now not flush. I'm surprised. I don't know how the f*** you did that. That is not the epitome of caring. This is not the epitome of priority you. This is the epitome of we just don't give a flying. Now, I have a heart of peace. I know people make mistakes. And it's just a material object. That's why I'm not really getting super pissed off about this, but I would just like to raise awareness of this, even if I don't get any compensation whatsoever. And I'm still going to try to sell it again. I just think that's totally uncalled for, and that does not show any signs of care whatsoever. Okay, new development. The glass is shifted all over the display. I can feel it on the bottom, and you can see it right here. The glass should not be protruding out like this. It should be flush with the metal frame where you don't see it. I feel like this poor display is under an operating light on a table, like getting surgery. Look at this. Just look at how separated that is. Oh, man. Again, I'm open to theories from my audience here as to what they could have done to damage it this bad, but holy crap. That's a lot of force must have gone into that hit. When Steve Jobs said, let's put a ding in the universe, this is not what he was talking about. Okay, so this is Moment of Truth 2.0. This is where we actually power on the display and see what's up. Ready? Plugging it in. Okay. So from what I see, there's no cracks, there's no scratches, and there's no dead pixels. Good start. The weird thing is the top of the screen is cropped just a teeny tiny bit because of the glass shifting. But other than that, I don't see any damage. The webcam is probably totally useless now unless someone can realign this panel. Let's have a look. Other camera. And it won't let me switch it. Okay. Oh, because I don't have the USB plugged in. Hang on. Stupid me. Photo booth. Huh. Yeah, you can see, it's a little, like, vignette-y. It's actually kind of artistic, almost. You can see this corner is definitely where the glass is shifting. Fantastic. Yeah, the crop from the whole bezel shift isn't that noticeable. I mean, well, I noticed it, but I'm also a designer. So, I caught that, but most people probably won't. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's rewind a bit. Alright, so I noticed something. I'm just sitting here in my office, cutting this tech video log, and I saw that there's no fragile sticker on the box. This is also a photo from the original buyer. And from this angle, I don't see a sticker either. I was out of town when this was shipped, so I had to call up a buddy and have him ship it out. Maybe I should have made sure that he got a sticker, because I'm guessing he didn't ask, and I'm guessing the packing store didn't ask either. You think they would, though. I'm gonna have to make some calls. Anyway, I feel like that 5-cent piece of sticky paper would have maybe solved this issue. That was an oversight. Well, I feel even dumber than before. But anyway, back to the tech video log for your enjoyment. Okay, so what are the next steps? Well, maybe you can help me out with this. If you'd like to help me out, I'd like you to tweet USPS and just raise awareness of this. Now, keep it civil, use your own words, don't swear at them or anything, but just let them know that this is not okay. Let's just try to get them aware of this. I'm sure they've dealt with this crap before, but you know what? They're going to deal with it again because I just had to. And I'm going to include a picture. There's actually a link in the description. Attach that image to your tweet and just tweet them about this issue and see if you can help me out at all. I would greatly appreciate that. The next step is that I'm going to sell this. So if you want it, just let me know and we'll talk. I am greatly reducing the price after this. So you actually might get it for a pretty good deal. So if you don't mind a little bit of damage around the bezel and the camera not working fully, but everything else is fine, super. You're going to get it for a pretty good cheap price. So just let me know and help me out with the tweet if you can. Also, I want to summarize on our lesson here. I was in a rush when I printed this label. I was actually in Pittsburgh in a hotel. Very busy day. And a lot of times when I ship stuff at a somewhat high price, the insurance is included. So the lesson is just read the fine print and make sure you read all the checkboxes. Because when I use this label option from eBay, you see all these checkboxes down here? Here's the add insurance one just thrown in with this tiny copy. I totally missed it. It wasn't included. So I forgot to check that box. I don't want what's happening to me to happen to you, because now I sold this display for $500 and I can't file a claim directly. I may be able to get some compensation some other way, but I can't do it formally because I didn't purchase the insurance, which was not even that expensive. The cost wasn't a problem. Don't miss those stupid checkboxes. It is really tiny though. Come on, make it easier to see or turn it on by default. You just, I don't know. Well, the deed is done and the return is closed. It sucks to have to refund a lot of money. But I am grateful that all the other things I shipped on eBay accidentally without insurance arrived okay. Of course, the most expensive item is the one that gets broken. It couldn't have been like the cheap microphone I sold or anything. It had to be the expensive thing. But lesson learned. And again, yeah, it kind of sucks to have to return that money, but I think it's the right thing to do. So there you go, buyer. You got your money back. Sorry to put you through this. So that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Help me out with that tweet if you can. And if you're interested in buying the display at a greatly reduced price, now on sale, just let me know in the comments below. And if you want, share your own tech horror stories or your own USPS or other carrier horror stories, because I'd love to see them. Misery loves company. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll see you in the not too distant future.